What's going on, guys? Balkan Architect here, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to model this cool looking floating house in Revit. Now this isn't really a floating house, it's part of a floating hotel. It's kind of a, I guess you would call it a floating apartment. It looks really cool, and I guess just to demonstrate that Revit can pretty much do anything, let's model this thing in Revit. But before we get started, I would just like to ask you to like this tutorial. It helps me out a lot, and if you haven't already, I suggest you subscribe because I make tutorials like this every day. And follow me on social media as well, links are in the description. And if you want to download this whole project that I'm going to be modeling now, you can follow the first link in the description to my Patreon page. You can download all of my project files so far over there. Okay, so let's get started. So for this project, I'm just going to be using the architectural template in Revit. And first, I like to set the units, so I'm just going to set them to meters. That's just what I prefer to work in. Let's set it to OK. Okay, now let's start modeling. So for the basic shape of this house, I'm going to be modeling it as an in-place mass. Or an in-place family. That's even better than an in-place mass for, I guess, for this particular situation. But before I do that, I like to set just some basic parameters, the dimensions of this thing, and for that I'm just going to be using the grids. So you can just type in the shortcut GR for grid, and let's set a few grids like this and a few of them horizontally like this. And now let's just set the basic dimensions. I'm not going to bother with the names of the grids because I'm just using them to just help me out in the beginning. So for this width, I'm going to set it to 5 meters, and for the length, I'm going to set it to, yeah, let's leave it at 8 meters. That's just fine. Okay, now let's start modeling this thing. So let's go to the component, open up the drop menu and find model in place. Open that thing up, and here I'm just going to search for a generic model. That's just what I prefer using, and let's just leave it at generic model 1. Okay, so now I just need to create a reference plane on which I'm going to be hosting my geometry, and for that just go here to reference plane, or again shortcut RP. You just place it like so, and now I need to set it in the middle, so that's 2.5 meters. If this is 5 meters, so that's 2.5, and we just need to name it. So let's just name it C for like central axis or whatever. And now let's just go to south elevation, and here, as you can see, we've got some levels, we've got these grids. So this is basically showing us the basic dimensions of this kind of a floating house that we're building. Okay, so now let's just go to the create tab and find extrusion, and immediately you have to set the work plane, and for that I'm just going to choose here to set it by name and open up the drop menu and choose my reference plane C. Hit OK, and now let's start modeling. Now it's kind of hard to see it like this because it's kind of a bit too white, but anyway, you get the point. It's let's just delete this, I don't need it. Okay, so for this, let's set it to 0.3 meters. That's 30 centimeters. That's just the base of the thing, and here this is the top part, and now we need to create that arc that we have on this thing, and I want the arc to finish kind of a bit like, let's do 0.6 meters from this edge to have a bit of a uncovered edge. And let's start modeling it as a spline. So just start from this point, do one more point on that line, then maybe, oops, okay, one more point on this. For some reason it keeps finishing it, but anyway, if it does that, just go like this, and then maybe do one more here, and finish it off here. And now you can select this one and move it all the way up, so it's gonna, yeah, it has that perfect curve. Okay, so I'm happy with the curve that I have here, so now I can delete this line, and this one I'll keep, kind of bring it down like that. Okay, and for the second line, or the second part of the arc that should be going this way, it should be at around like 220 centimeters, just from some basic dimensions I figured out a bit earlier. So that's this. So just go and maybe let's try to create it as an arc. Let's see, does that look good? Yeah, I think that looks good enough. So let's place that arc like this. Okay, so we need that hole over here and another hole over here to kind of complete this mass. So to do that, let's move this out of the way over here a bit. Yeah, kind of like that. Perhaps make an arc like this. Yeah, I guess that looks good enough. And let's just use split line to split it here and pull this to there, unjoin elements. Or no, yeah, this is what we're looking for. Okay, so this looks good. And let's just do the second one. So for the second one, let's go maybe over here, kind of like that. Or maybe align it with this point a bit. Yeah, that looks fine. Extend it upward, another arc. Let's do an arc from here to kind of to here. Yeah, kind of like that. And let's see what this will look like. Yeah, that looks quite good. And now we can just connect this to that. Go trim and extend, trim this, and then let's just fillet this edge just to make it look nice. Okay, so once we have that, let's just trim and extend this part, and we have the basic kind of the basic shape, and just hit finish. And now here for the extrusion start and the extrusion end, for the start I'm going to type in -3 meters, or no, -2.5. Yeah, -2.5, and for the extrusion end just 2.5, so that's 5 in total. And if I go into 3D, this is what you get. Okay, but as you can see now we have this kind of a mid part that we need to hollow out to place our house. So for that, let's go back into south elevation and go again create void forms, void extrusion, set it to the same work plane, so reference plane C, hit OK, and now let's just use pick lines to pick this line, and maybe, yeah, we need that line, we need this line, and then we need to cut this at some point. But to figure that point out, again, I need to check my dimensions, so let's cut it at 240 from this side, so 2.4 meters from that side. Okay, it's going to look something like this. And then let's see. Okay, let's do it kind of like that. Yeah, that's what I want to have. Okay, extend it there. And we can just go immediately downward here. And if this doesn't make sense, don't worry, it will make sense in a moment when I just cut everything. Okay, this looks fine. This is where we want to have the cut. And here for the extrusion end, as you remember, the last one was 2.5 and the start was -2.5. So let's go -2.3, and for the finish, let's just do 2.3 and hit apply, finish, and let's just go into 3D. So basically this is what we have. So we've cut out our the kind of the main part. Now let's go to the east elevation, no, west elevation. Okay, yeah, this is the view from the front, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. If I go to level 1, no, that should be the west elevation, yeah. Okay, so once you're in west elevation, you just go into create, void form, extrusion end, and let's just place a door on that for that back terrace. And let's pick a plane, okay, and yeah, I can't select it over here, so let's just go into 3D and pick this plane over here. So set work plane, pick a plane, yeah, let's pick this plane, and now let's just poke a door over here. So just kind of make it like that, and yeah, 2.1 meters, and the width is 90, that's good enough, and we have our door over here. Okay, and we need to cut off this kind of terrace, make it open, and for that let's just go into level 1, and once you're in level 1, we need to create another void extrusion, and go just from here to here. Just make sure it aligns to this point and to this over here, and let's just go into 3D to check that. Okay, as you can see, I was making a mistake, so I need to kind of pull this and maybe align it. Just use AL for align it to that just to make sure, and now move this up all the way to this plane and move this all the way up so it's cutting through. And as you can see, this is what we have, but of course we need to extend it. So just hover over this edge, tab a few times till you select the void. Okay, here it is, and just extend this part. Okay, and there you go. So we've got this back terrace, we've got this thing, and here is going to be the little indentation for the kitchen in this thick wall. It's not going to be that thick of a wall, that's where we're going to be placing the kitchen. And for that, let's just go to create, again, void forms, void extrusion, and as you can see, we're just carving this thing out. So let's go set work plane, pick a plane, hit OK, pick this plane, and just go maybe like that. Yeah, it's 1 meter, that's fine for a kitchen. Okay, but as you can see, it's too large, and let's just move it in a bit, and let's set it like this. Let's see. Okay, now the indentation is too small, so let's go a bit more inside of this wall. Yeah, I think this is a decent size for a kitchen. Okay, I like this part, so I like how this thing turned out. And now let's set the material for this whole thing, and for that just select everything, go into filter, and you find over here check none, and then you check just generic models, not the voids, hit apply, okay, and now just go to material, open this up and choose something white. I usually just type in white and choose a gypsum wall board. Of course, if you're doing this as a kind of a real project, you would probably need to pick out a more serious material for this. But anyway, so we've got the basic shape. Now we need to add those wooden elements that are kind of making this thing look really cool. And to make those, yeah, let's just go again into south elevation, and let's set a work plane. So again, just go here, set, pick a plane, hit OK, and pick this whole side plane. And now just go on with just the extrusion, and what I'm going to do is just create a simple, just go with rectangle and create like one plank that's going like this to about this part, and let's set it at, I don't know, something like 0.08, so that's like 8 centimeters. And now let's just copy it multiple times. So let's go to 16, again 16, and now I can already go like this and just go copy and then go from point to point. And again, you just select everything, copy, CO is the shortcut, and you just go all the way up to the top. Now delete the ones that you're not going to be using, and then you can just kind of extend these like so. Or maybe we can select all of them, or not all of them, yeah. Kind of go like this. Maybe, I guess this is the fastest way to do it. And I don't have to care really about this part because it will be going to go into this section, so it won't be visible anyway. So maybe move this in like that, move this in like so. Okay, there it is. And now just copy a few of them on this side, so maybe something like this, and just copy it here. And then again do the same thing, move this inside like that, and maybe move this a bit. Okay, so once we have that, we just need to extend one of these because one of these will be used as railing. So let's see the height of this, or maybe use the measure tool. Maybe that's the best option. So you go up like this, and let's do this one. This is at 1.1 meters. Okay, so this just extended like so to be kind of a railing part. And for the extrusion start and end, I'm just going to leave it at here for the extrusion start at 0.03, and then the extrusion end at 0.06. Yeah, and just hit apply, okay, and go into level 1 to see what the hell you have done. Okay, so we need to add minus on both of these, so -3, -6, hit apply. Okay, this looks really good, and then just mirror it around this axis and go into 3D. Okay, this looks really good right now, and let's just select both of them and change the material. So just go here to material, and let's just type in wood, and let's see what we get. Yeah, I like to use this birch wood, so I'm just going to be loading that in, double click, and the material is set. And now just go over here, go again create, extrusion, set work plane, pick a plane, hit OK, go to this plane, and then just do like a small rectangle over here, and it should be like 0.3. Okay, so once we finish that, I can now extend it, oops, not on that side, extend it over here to this part, and use this arrow to extend it to the other side. So there we go, we've got a railing that's integrated into our design, and then you can just go here and join geometry and just join the whole thing together. Okay, this looks nice, and let's see, let's set the material for this. Let's go with birch. Okay, and this is, yeah, this is already set. Okay, so once we have this, we're pretty much done as far as the in-place family. Maybe we'll have to do some changes, but this is as far as this part goes. So let's just go finish model and go and add some architectural elements. So first I need to add a curtain wall over here. And if I go to level 1, I can't really see where it should be. But if I go into 3D, as you can see, it should be touching this part over here, this line on top. And so the way to model it is super easy. You just go to ceiling plan level 1, and now you can see that line. So you just go here, and here you create your curtain wall. So I'm just going to be going to the drop menu, select curtain wall, flip it to the other side, place it like that. Okay, and if I go into 3D, yeah, as you can see, it's way too high, so I'm just going to bring that all the way down over here. Okay, that looks nice. And now let's add a door over here, and for that, and before we do that, let's continue. This curtain wall should be kind of going to this side, as you can see, because this is only kind of cosmetic. This wooden part, it's actually hollow, so let's add a curtain wall and close this whole thing off. So for that, just go to level 1, and again, let's go curtain wall and just attach it all the way to this wall over here. Maybe move it a bit closer to this wooden element, yeah, and do the same thing here. So just go to this thick big wall, and again, just maybe bring it in like so. Okay, and now go into 3D, and again, as you can see, this is way too large, but you need to change the profile. So just go here into edit profile, and here I'm just going to pick this line, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it, all I need. So let's go and trim and extend this to this, this to this, and that looks all right. Delete elements, yeah, that looks really cool. Okay, let's do the same thing for this one, or we can mirror that one, but anyway, I think it's faster like this at this point. So do that, trim and extend, and delete the top one, delete, finish, delete elements, there we go. So it's looking really cool. So let's add the door, level 1. And you just select, you just hover over this thing, and you tab a few times till you can select the glass. You unpin it, and as you can see here, you can change the curtain panel, but we don't have a door over here. So for that, we need to load in a door. So just go to Insert, Load Family, drop back a few folders. Let's see, where do we have doors? Okay, doors. And we have some glass doors. Okay, this is the one I want to use. So the curtain wall single glass, open it up. And now again, hover over this thing, select it, open up the drop menu, and you find this door over here. Let's flip to the other side. Yeah, that looks perfect. And if I go into 3D, change this to fine. As you can see, we've got this little cool handle over here. Okay, so this is looking pretty nice already. We need to add some more elements. So first, I like to add the toilet over here, because you need a toilet in your hotel room. And for that, let's just go to Architecture, Wall. Let's choose the generic wall, and let's make it smaller. So edit type, let's make it 0.1, or no, 0.1 meters. So that's like 10 centimeters. I think that's, I guess it's good enough for this project. It's thick enough. Maybe extend it a bit. Okay, like that. Okay, that's sufficient for a toilet. Let's maybe align it to this kitchen element. Yeah, this is a really small apartment. So kind of place a door over there, and then here you can place a sink or a toilet, and the whole thing works as a shower. So I'm not going to go into that too much, but you get the point how it works. Now let's add the loft, the upper part, and for that we need to add another level. So just go to south elevation, go to levels, and just create another level over here. And for the loft level, it should be at 2.4 meters. So I'm just going to type in 2.4. Okay. And once you've done that, you now just need to model the thing. So you go to a level 2, or no, that's level 3. Yeah. Okay, and as you can see here, you can't really see anything, so go back into level 1 and you're going to be modeling your loft from here. It's going to be way easier. So you just go to floor and you just change the level to level 3, hit apply, and do just a simple rectangle like this. Yeah, this is where it should be. Maybe give it a little breathing room. And let's change the thickness. I think 15 centimeters is way too much for such a small surface. So let's do 0.1. Okay, apply, okay, finish. And if I go into 3D, as you can see here, I've got that loft. And as you can see, these walls are way too high. So let's just select these 3. So just call the control, select these 3, attach top base, select the loft floor. And there you go. So you can fit your bed over here. And just a few final touches. Of course, this can go on, and you can make this, you can add way more elements and make it nice. But for this, just a kind of a quick gameplay Revit tutorial, I'm just going to be doing just the basic elements. And so let's go to component and let's cancel out of this. I'll save later. And let's go into load family and let's find some furniture. And let's see, tables. Where is that simple table? Yeah, I like this one. And let's just extend it, make it like 3 meters long. So kind of like that. Apply, okay, and fit it over here. I like to have a long table so you can invite lots of friends into your cramped apartment in hotel. Okay, and let's just add some seating. So again, load family, drop back a folder, seating, and let's see, this Corbu sofa is nice, and it can almost fit here. And let's see, can we do 2 of them? Maybe. Yeah, 2 can fit. Of course, you would probably need to model a specific family, a seating family for this thing. Let's just move this wall a bit. And if you want to check out some of my interior designs tutorials, I'm going to be linking the playlist in the description, because there I go more into how to model these seating families, particular for a special small cramped space like the one we have here. But anyway, if I just maybe go to realistic. Yeah, this looks nice already. So you get the point. That's how you create some extraordinary shape or a typology of a house like this particular like floating hotel room or hotel apartment in Revit. Okay, and if you want to download this project file, check out my Patreon, first link in the description. That's pretty much it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share this video. And if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for any future tutorials, please leave them in the comment section below. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.